An airplane cabin. The hum of passengers chatting and flight attendants moving around fills the air. It was supposed to be a routine flight. Passengers boarded, settled in, and prepared for takeoff. But for one man, this journey would become a painful lesson in human nature. And for everyone else on board, it would be a moment they'd never forget. Cut to Jones, a 72-year-old man struggling to lift his suitcase into the overhead bin. His hands tremble slightly from age. His eyes show a mix of excitement and nervousness. Meet Jones, a grandfather who hadn't seen his grandkids in years. This flight from New York to Los Angeles was more than just a trip. It was a dream come true. Tucked inside his carry-on were small, handmade toys he'd carved himself, each one crafted with love and care. But what should have been a moment of anticipation quickly turned into humiliation. Reenactment. Jones, struggling with his bag, turns to a flight attendant, Karen. She's scrolling on her phone, visibly uninterested. Jones, softly. "Excuse me, miss. Would you mind helping me just a little?" Karen looks up, rolls her eyes, and scoffs. Karen. "I'm not your personal assistant. Do it yourself." Jones blinks, taken aback. He glances around, hoping someone else might offer assistance, but the moment feels frozen in time. Jones, embarrassed, apologized and tried again, his frail hands gripping the handle with all the strength he could muster. But Karen wasn't done. This wasn't just about refusing help. She wanted everyone to know exactly what she thought of him. Cut to Karen, sighing loudly, drawing attention to Jones. Karen, mockingly, louder this time. "Honestly, if you can't even handle your own luggage, maybe you shouldn't be flying at all." Passengers turn their heads. Some exchange awkward glances, while others lower their eyes, uncomfortable but silent. Jones felt the weight of 100 eyes on him. His ears burned with shame. All he wanted was to see his grandkids, to hold them, to surprise them with the gifts he'd spent months making. But now he felt like a burden. Cut to Sarah, a young woman seated nearby, frowning as she watches the scene unfold. She glances around, expecting someone, anyone, to say something. But no one does. And then, just when it seemed like no one would speak up, she did. Sarah, firmly. "Hey, that's no way to treat someone. He's just asking for help." Karen, caught off guard, turns towards Sarah with narrowed eyes. Karen. "Mind your own business. If you don't like it, you can get off the plane too." Passengers whisper. A few pull out their phones, quietly recording. The tension in the air is thick, almost suffocating. Cut to the front row. A man in a suit, sitting quietly, puts down his newspaper. He's been watching the entire time. What Karen didn't know was that one of those silent passengers wasn't just any traveler. He was Mr. Carter, the CEO of the airline, flying incognito to observe how his employees treated their customers. Cut to Mr. Carter standing up, straightening his tie, and slowly making his way toward the scene. He stops beside Jones and looks at Karen, his expression unreadable. Karen, suddenly aware of his presence, shifts uncomfortably. Mr. Carter, calmly but firmly. "Karen, I've seen enough. Hand over your badge." Karen laughs nervously. Karen. "Excuse me? Who do you think you are?" Mr. Carter pulls out his ID and holds it up. Gasps ripple through the cabin. Karen's face drains of color. "Mr. Carter, I'm the CEO of this airline, and I will not tolerate this kind of behavior. You're fired." Passengers murmur. Some cheer softly. Phones continue recording. Cut to Karen, mouth open, stammering. Karen. But I was just..." She looks around, but there is no sympathy for her now. Only disappointment. She swallows hard, grabs her things, and storms off the plane. Cut to Jones, still clutching his suitcase, his eyes wide in disbelief. For For Jones, it was surreal. One moment he was being humiliated. The next, he was being defended by an entire plane of strangers. But the kindness didn't stop there. Mr. Carter reaches for Jones's suitcase, lifting it effortlessly into the overhead bin. Mr. Carter, gently, "Sir, I'm deeply sorry for what you've experienced. Let me help you with your bag." Jones, overwhelmed, blinks back tears. Jones, "Thank you, sir. I just wanted to see my grandkids." Mr. Carter pats his shoulder with a warm smile. "Mr. Carter, and you will. This flight is on us." Cut to passengers clapping. Some move to offer Jones snacks, a drink, or simply a kind word. Sarah switches seats to sit next to him, making sure he doesn't feel alone for the rest of the flight. And just like that, the energy shifted. The flight that had started with tension and cruelty ended with kindness and compassion. At 30,000 feet, a lesson was learned. A little bit of humanity can change everything. The plane lands. The doors open. Jones steps out, scanning the crowd, until he spots them. Cut to two young children, no older than 6 or 7, running toward him with open arms. Grandkids, excitedly, "Grandpa!" Jones drops his bag and kneels, arms wide open. The kids crash into him, hugging him tightly. Tears stream down his face as he holds them close. Narrator, this moment, this was all that mattered. Not the cruelty, not the humiliation, just love. And the kindness of strangers who refused to look the other way. Cut to Karen walking away from the airport, her flight attendant uniform forever a thing of the past. As for Karen, she was never seen on a flight again. Her story became a cautionary tale. Treat others with respect or face the consequences. Kindness costs nothing, but its impact can change everything. Be the reason someone believes in the goodness of people. Did this story inspire you? Hit that like button if you believe kindness always wins. Share this video to spread the message that respect and compassion matter everywhere, even at 30,000 feet. And don't forget to comment below. What would you have done if you were on that flight? Let's start a conversation about the power of standing up for what's right. Thanks for watching, and remember, be kind, always. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How can we as a society do better for those who have given everything for us? Like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that challenge the way we see the world.